Hello everybody, welcome to Sportsmanship. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 100K, so seriously, if you're continually watching these videos and you're not subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe. Also drop a like. That also really helps and makes the video do better than the algorithm. So how's that for a provocative title? The other day I had the Phoenix Suns New Orleans Pelicans game on in the background while I was doing work. I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. The point of this video is not to be a post-game recap of that game. Rather, I want to talk about what made the commentators get loud and caught my attention and caused me to look up. And that was Zion Williamson with a few seconds left on the clock after the Pelicans very clearly had a win on their hands, did a 360 windmill, I think was the dunk. It was a crazy dunk that you would expect Zion Williamson to do on a fast break type thing. And of course, I immediately knew that this would cause, let's use the word kerfuffle. Because A, that's something that some teams have an issue with, and B, Lord knows the Phoenix Suns do. Because if I'm not mistaken, this has happened before. And if I'm not mistaken, even if... Well, this isn't even a mistaken thing. Even if they hadn't done that before, it's the exact type of thing you know they would do. So this has been a contested thing before, the whole sportsmanship argument. It's rude or unfair to put up a basket like that. And to me, all I think is... I'm trying not to curse in these videos, but whatever. It's the only apt example. Smells like bitchin' here to me whenever I hear that. Whenever I hear someone complain that a team shouldn't have shot the ball after the game was basically over, it smells like bitchin' here to me. Because to me, if you are going to... You can't complain about that. If you don't want a team to do something like that to you, don't lose. That's simply how it goes. If you win, you're allowed to do stuff like that, in my opinion. 100%. It's the same thing, like, I've always felt like in NFL, and I think it's like this in college a little bit too, like, if you excessively celebrate, you get a technical foul. Like, nah, man, unless they're like stopping the action to do a whole dance number, that's a problem. But other than that, let them celebrate and taunt as much as they want. Let them get as toxic as they want, frankly. If someone dunks, this happens in the NBA too. If someone dunks on somebody and they point at them, shouldn't be any kind of call. That's just awesome. That's to me, it is much more unsportsmanlike to treat your opponent like a baby. Because, like, to me, not throwing down that dunk is arguably more disrespectful, because it's like, yeah, we're going to go easy on you guys now because you clearly couldn't take it. And that's just, I would personally hate that. And moreover, even with the Phoenix Suns, it's not even about the fact that they complain about it. It's the fact that they complain about it the way that they do. Let me pull up Cameron Payne's quote. I like there was just no sportsmanship, and we don't really like that. We do the right thing. I felt like they should have done the right thing, and they didn't. The game was over. They can hold the ball. Yeah, the game was over. I will give you that, but that sounds like a you problem, buddy. I don't know. The Phoenix Suns have just always been mildly annoying to me, but I've wanted to be in defense of them because A, I personally like Chris Paul, not so much the person, but the basketball player, absolutely. He's one of the most fun players in the world to watch to me. I love a player who is practically unguardable because of how good they are at playmaking as well. Like, Chris Paul's mid-range game is heavily aided by the fact that he can just throw a dot in the pick and roll if you don't give him the mid-range shot, you know? I've always been a fan of his. Don't really care for Devin Booker personally, and I've been a big fan of DeAndre Ayton, even if he has consistently disappointed me. I've always been of the opinion that the guy definitely has all-star potential, but the situation in Phoenix is just, for whatever reason, whether it be not him not getting shots, or it be him having beef with players and coaches, whatever it is, he's not ending up reaching the all-star potential that I think we all know he has. He went number one for a reason. He consistently displays post-creation skills that are elite. He gets 18 and 13 in his sleep, so it's like maybe if you spoon feed him the ball a little bit more, he'll do more than this. But unfortunately, that's just not how they go about it. And with how the Phoenix Suns are, I have, like I said, tried to be in defense of them, but they're just so annoying. And I'll always say, and I still stand by this take because I've said it in the past, yes, the Phoenix Suns are kind of annoying, but don't let that overshadow the fact that they can be a good basketball team. But at this point, I would almost argue that this pattern from them is in part holding them back. Now, I know everyone loves to clown on them for like those workout videos and things, but like this cheesy stuff that they do, this like us versus everybody stuff that they do, they make everyone out to be their enemy. It's almost like they're trying to be the villain of the league, which is personally a concept that I've never really cared for. It's just the word of the day, annoying. And I don't know what to do about it other than to complain about it in a YouTube video. I just felt the need to say something about it. Also, it's just, funny to me. It's really, really quite... I don't want to use the word pathetic, but it's not far from it. Like, if your team loses the game, you don't get to complain about what happens in the last 9 seconds of the game. You just don't, to me. And that goes far beyond the Phoenix Suns as well, because we've seen this happen time and time again. I know Russell Westbrook got all bent out of shape because I don't even know who it was did the same thing. I don't care. I really don't have any sympathy for you in that situation. I think the sportsmanship argument is stupid. And stop being a loser and crying about it. Like, the crying about it thing is the far worse thing than just even complaining about it on the court in the first place. It's the after the fact crying about it too. It's like, dude, just move on. It's a regular season game. No one really cares. And frankly, the Pelicans fans show up to that arena for a damn show. They show up to that arena to watch Zion throw down crazy dunks. And after a very satisfying win, he gave them a show at the end of it. And I cannot fault him for that. And I think it's ridiculous to fault him for that. So, yeah. I guess that's my thoughts on that whole situation. And it's also not just this Phoenix Suns example, but again, just in general, the complaining about players shooting the ball after the game clock is all that's left. It's dumb. It's very dumb. Argue tradition and sportsmanship all you want. I will forever think it's dumb. That's the end of it. It doesn't matter what kind of traditional argument you try and put in front of me. So yeah, that was the Phoenix Suns being a bunch of crybaby losers. And that's the end of the video.